Welcome to the Books on Air podcast. I'm Suzanne Harris, and my listeners get the story behind every book. Joining me today is Vincent D'Souza, and he's here to talk about his very personal book, Happy People Equals Happy World, Prayers to Heal People and the World. Vincent, it's a pleasure to have you today on Books on Air. Thank you so much for joining me.
It's an honor and a pleasure to be here, and a privilege.
I know that this book has a very personal origin. One of the things that I always think is interesting is that books always tell two stories. The first story is the one the author writes and that the reader reads. But there's always a story that's a backstory about how the book came to be. And I know that you have a very personal backstory. Would you share that with our listeners?
Yes. In about nearly 15 years ago, my brother was found to have cancer and he was declared terminal. And he made a lot of, he was offered chemotherapy. But what came to me was other treatments and the spiritual solution, which is finding your true nature. And I had some dreams. I had practice of that before, where the dream continued, so I could write down what was happening. And this gave me a thing of praying to what we call God, saying to heal me. And there were 7 steps. It's basically forgiveness to reaching oneness. Forgiveness, love, pardon, acceptance, and then oneness. And so I shared it with him. And then the first, it was the 7 steps just with God. Then the next night, it was, what about Jesus? So then different sections of the Bible came to complement the 7 steps. And we did it with him, but he didn't survive. That was his journey. And then much later, when I signed up to do a book with Balboa Press, I was prompted to do this book and share these 7 stations, because the only way we can achieve that oneness is by releasing all the negative, even some of what we perceive to be positive, because those are cravings and they keep us enslaved. Just be love. And that's what this is about, because when you are loved, you're happy, and you make everybody else happy. That's why happy people equal to happy world. Okay, so that's it.
The cover really struck me when I looked at the book. It's got to be very significant. You've got a bird cage. Tell me about the origins of the cover, because there has to be significance there.
Yeah, it is very important, because this idea came from one of the CDs in a different book. But basically the cage is a prison, and that's where fear puts you. You see, because fear is low vibration, negative energies that keep you trapped, that keep you limited. And that acronym at the bottom, FACT-APS, is of fear, anger, confusion, darkness, aggression, pain, and suffering. So when you choose fear, you're choosing those options, and it keeps you trapped. You feel powerless. Now, when you choose, even you think in your life, when you're sad, when you're depressed, when you're worried, how you feel. Your whole body contracts. Now, when you open and you go to peace, awareness, love, light, you feel your body opening up, and that's freedom. And so why you got this transition here is because your soul is infinite. We've been programmed to believe that we are the body, which is limited. That's the prison. The soul is infinite, peace, awareness, love, light, and it chooses to serve and surrender to the greatest good. That means everybody wins. And so that's opening, and it brings joy, gratitude, and peace. And so that's where when you release, when you choose, there's only one choice in life between love and fear. When you choose fear, you're going into a prison of the negative energies, which is very low vibration. Choose love, everybody benefits. When you choose fear, everybody loses. When you choose love, everybody wins. So that's where your soul diamond is. When you choose love, you're being lifted to peace, awareness, love, light, selfless service, and surrender, which is joy and gratitude. See?
I thought it was very appropriate that you use the FADDAPs, fear, anger, confusion, darkness, aggression, pain, and steering, to construct the cage. And then you have a dove, I think. Is that not a dove flying away?
Yes. That's correct. It's carrying your soul diamond up to freedom, basically.
Up to peace, love, light, selfless service, and surrender.
Yes.
I thought that was beautiful. I really liked the cover. I thought that was so appropriate. Let's give our listeners an overview of what is contained in the book, Vincent.
Okay. Now, because I was brought up as a Catholic, I have a good idea of the prayers. I didn't understand them before because they were in Latin. Because some of the hymns are very beautiful, but when you find the English meaning, they're even more wondrous, you know. But the fundamental prayer is the Lord's Prayer, and then you've got the other prayers of the Rosary, which is praying for us to be healed, to be saved, all that sort of stuff. And my inspiration was that the mysteries of the Rosary that I was taught, the joyful, sorrowful, and glorious, are your life journey. They're your life journey. They're what happens to you, what the choices you're making every day. And they lead you back to oneness. So that's what that's telling you. Now, the Lord's Prayer, the way we say it normally, is like God is somewhere else and you're praying to God. Well, the version that was given to me is that I am prayer, is the same thing, but affirming that you are God in action, which is what you are, which is what everything is. It's an expression of God. So then now it becomes personal. Everything you're doing is personal, and you're affecting everybody. So that's where that part came. Then you got some healing affirmations and protections, because there are lots of negative energies around. So you can use those. And then you got the 7 stations of the healing cross, which is your process to forgive yourself and love yourself completely, unconditionally. You do the same to everybody else, every aspect of creation, because nobody did anything to you. And then you go up in vibration until you acknowledge your oneness with God, which is the essence of everything in all times, all dimensions, all worlds. So you're complete, you're infinite, eternal. And then some of the songs also give you other ideas, because when you realize you're infinite, eternal, you lose the fear of death, which is one of the biggest ones we got. You see, your spirit, you're complete, infinite, eternal. That's the essence of it.
I think you'd like to share some of the prayers with our listeners. Why don't we do that now?
Well, actually, the one I would choose to share is I am light, okay? I am light, glowing light, radiating light, infinite light. God consumes my darkness, transmuting it into light. This day, I'm a focus of the central sun. Flowing through me is a crystal river, a living fountain of light that can never be qualified by human thought or feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness that has used me is swallowed up by the mighty river of light which I am. I am light. I live in light. I'm light's fullest dimension. I'm light's purest intention. I'm light, light, light. Flooding the world everywhere I move. Blessing, strengthening, and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Are there some others that you'd like to share with the listeners?
Well, you can. This forgiveness decree is good, but I'm not going to say the preamble or the closure, but I'll just say that because this is the start of our journey, even in the 7 stations of the healing cross. Okay, I am forgiveness acting here, casting out all doubt and fear, setting people forever free with wings of cosmic victory. I am calling in full power for forgiveness in every hour. To all life in every place, I flood forth forgiving grace.
That's just beautiful. You do such a wonderful job with your prayers. I know that our listeners are asking themselves, where can they find the book? It's on Amazon. Let me give you the title and let me spell Vincent's name. And if you've never bought a book on Amazon, all you have to do is put the word Amazon.com in your browser and just click on it, and it will bring you right to their website. Now, if you've never searched on their website, you'll see a big, sort of a gray, long rectangle. Here's the title of Vincent's book: Happy People =, Happy World, Prayers to Heal People and the World, by Vincent, Vincent, D, Souza, Souza. Put that in, click on it, and you'll see the beautiful cover that will come right up. And if you open the book, if you click on the upper right-hand corner where it says Look Inside, the book will electronically open, and you'll be able to see the table of contents where everything is listed, and you'll be able to read a little of the book so that you get a feel for the book. Now, Vincent, I know that some people would prefer to buy their books from someone else besides Amazon, and I believe that your book is available other places. Is that right?
That's correct. The publishers, Balboa Press, which is a subsidiary of Hay House, sell the book directly. And it's with Barnes & Noble. It's going to be in a lot of bookshops. I'm not absolutely clear which ones, but I've got a website which is called www.justbelove, one word, .org. Now, that one will have this book, and it's got another one, which is The Higher Jihad of Love. And you can find it there. It'll be put on that second website very soon. But there are some hymns in this book, but if you go to the www.justbelove.org, you can listen to the tunes, so you can sing them if you wish to sing them when you want to do the 7 stations of the Healing Cross. So that's one, and the other one that will be set up very soon is PALS = Happy People = Happy World. It will be available there as well.
Excellent. I love it that you have the hymns sung and that people can go and listen to them, because music is so powerful for all of us. And I think that being able to sing the prayers would just be so powerful for an individual.
Absolutely right. That makes a massive difference. It gets into every cell of your being.
I agree. Now, we're coming to the end of our interview, and I always like to give the author an opportunity to talk a little bit about their work. This is very personal for you, and this has been a very interesting conversation for me. What would you like to have the listener take away when they sit down, they buy a copy of the book, they sit down with Happy People, Happy World, they read it, they begin to use the prayers, they go to the last page, they close the book cover for the very last time. What do you want them to take away from your book?
Okay. This book has something which you will not find in many places, which is the litany of the Christ. Now, the Christ is, according to religion and all, the only child of God. That's true. But there is only one God, and there is only one Christ. And we're all bits of the Christ. And what is the Christ? It's unconditional love using a mortal form to carry out the divine plan, which is basically love, because God is love. So this litany is affirming your true nature. And it starts with, I'm apart from this body. Each affirmation is prefaced by, I'm apart from this body, I'm apart from this mind. Because we've been programmed to believe you're the body and the mind. No, that's only a tool we use to experience the materiality of creation, which is temporal. So I'll recite a little bit of the litany of the Christ. You get a taste of who you really are. So it starts like this. I'm apart from this body. I'm a Christ. I'm apart from this mind. I'm dimensionless. I'm apart from this body. I'm spirit. I'm apart from this mind. I'm awareness. I'm apart from this body. I'm infinite. I'm apart from this mind. I'm eternal. I'm apart from this body. I'm consciousness. I'm apart from this mind. I'm allness. I'm apart from this body. I'm one with the all in all. I'm apart from this mind. I'm one with the all that is. I'm apart from this body. I'm one with source. I'm apart from this mind. I'm one with God. I'm apart from this body. I'm loved. I am apart from this mind. I'm loving. I'm apart from this body. I'm lovable. I'm apart from this mind forever. I'm lovable forever. I'm apart from this body. I'm one with God. I'm apart from this mind. I'm in God. I'm apart from this body. I'm the Spirit of God in this body. I'm apart from this mind. I'm this God's Spirit creating through this body. I'm apart from this body. I'm doing nothing only by my mortal self. I'm apart from this mind. I'm a co-creator with God. I'm apart from this body. I'm peace. I'm apart from this mind. I'm awareness. I'm apart from this body. I'm love and light. I'm apart from this mind. I'm selfless service and surrendered to the greatest good of all creation. And so it is.
Vincent, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful hymns and your wonderful prayers with me and with our listeners. It's been such a pleasure to have you as my guest today on Books on Air. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much, Susan. It's been a pleasure interacting with you. And I hope that this book, which is the message of this book, the people who read this book and try to live what it says, will polish the diamonds, the rough diamonds that they are, so that every facet shines and radiates light, love, peace, awareness, joy, and gratitude to all of creation.
That's such a lovely image. Thank you so much, Vincent. And remember, you can find Happy People equals Happy World, Prayers to Heal People and the World by Vincent, Vincent, D'Souza, D, critical mark, Souza, on Amazon. You've been listening to the Books on Air podcast, brought to you on webtalkradio.net. You can also hear this podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and Apple Podcast. I'm Suzanne Harris, and I hope you'll join me for our next Books on Air podcast, because remember, you never know who's going to be here, and you never know what we're going to talk about. Thank you so very much for listening.